Today, thousands of people across the seat of Canning voted for Labor for the first time. That in itself is a great achievement in this campaign. I would like to say congratulations to Mr Hastie and to Mr Turnbull for their campaign. I've just spoken to Andrew and passed on my congratulations to him on his campaign. I'd also like to start, though, by just paying tribute to the late Don Randall, the former member for Canning. For those of us that have been associated with Canning for a long time, Don was our local member for a long time, and he went out across this entire electorate and he listened to people. And that's what we did on this campaign. We went out across this entire electorate and we had conversations with individual voters, with families, and we listened to their concerns. And so I'd like to thank the voters of Canning for the great support that they have shown to me and to the Labor Party today and through this entire campaign. And I'd also like to say thank you to WA Labor, to the National Labor Party, to our union movement for placing your trust in me as your candidate to take up this fight in this campaign. I'd like to thank the branches of Canning. I'd like to thank all of the branches and the members of the branches here on the ground that have done great work. In particular though, the first branch I joined, the Armidale-Kelmscott branch, that have always been right behind me, and I thank you guys for all of your help in particular. As you know, I'm Canning born and bred. Born and bred in Armidale. I've been out there fighting for my local patch in this election campaign, fighting for all people in Canning. And during this campaign, I have to say, now as I stand here, as I've been out on the polling booths today, the fire within me to fight for my local area, to fight for WA, to stand up in our national parliament on behalf of all of those people is greater now than it's ever been, and I really wish to continue that fight into the future. Together today and over the last 4 weeks, we have fought a noble fight. We have fought a strong fight. It can't be unescapable to people that normally we see in a campaign like this, in tragic circumstances of the death of a local member, a swing of around 2.5%. Right now, tonight, we've seen some massive swings in some of our booths. As David said, we've seen huge swings in our primary vote. We're looking at swings across the seat on a two-party preferred of 6%. That is a huge effort. Thank you very much for your fight. And we've achieved that. We've achieved that change because people want to see a Labor Party out there arguing for them for Australian jobs. They are upset with the broken promises of this government. They don't like the cuts that they've seen to schools and to hospitals. They don't like all of the things that we've been talking about through this campaign, and that's what's allowed us to achieve this great result with thousands of people across this seat voting for us for the first time, and that is a great effort. Thank you very much. And through this campaign, we have also put forward, and we've had front and centre, some of the key fights, the key issues of our movement and of our party. We've been out there talking to the electors of Canning about making sure we reserve our gas, that we protect our penalty rates, that we make sure that the Chinese Free Trade Agreement protects Australian jobs, and that we fix and have local shipbuilding to make sure that we've got good jobs in the future for Western Australia. We need to work together to make sure that in Western Australia we are not ignored by our Liberal federal governments or any federal government. We need to make sure that we're creating the jobs of the new economy in this state post the mining boom so that people can have job security and provide for their families. We need to work on a renewables industry and having sustainable renewable energy in this country. We should also work on things like WA becoming a centre of excellence for offshore oil and gas, not just here, but around the world. And we also need to make sure that we are part of tackling the scourge that is domestic violence in this country. We need to make sure we need to move WA from being one of the worst states in this federation for gender equality to being the best. So I would like to thank the over 1,000 volunteers that have worked on this campaign. It has been a huge effort. I'd like to thank again the branch members from the electorate of Canning, as well as those that have come from across the state to work on this campaign. I'd like to thank our national office, our state head office, our leaders. It has been great being out there with Bill Shorten. The voters love Bill, despite what you might read in a newspaper. They've been coming up to him on the train stations, in the shopping centres. It's been fantastic to be able to campaign with Bill Shorten, with the shadow ministers nationally, with Mark McGowan and his shadows as well, and with our local members in Tony Booty and in David Templeman throughout this campaign. And I'd like to thank all of you for your help. And of course, thank you to the road team that's been out with me in particular. You've put up with me, and I'd like to thank you very much for that. I'd also... There are many individual thank yous that I'd like to make, and I've been trying to make them as I go around the room, and I'll make them later tonight and over coming days. But I would like to single out my family, who have been my great role models. They've inspired me. They always taught me that not everybody is born with the same lot in life. And it's our responsibility where we can to help those that need it. And that's what we are about as a party. And they inspired me in that and set me as great role models. And so I'd like to thank them for that and for all of their support on this campaign. And I of course need to thank my lovely wife, Annabelle, the love of my life, my rock, my leveller, the person who tells me things that no one else will tell me, but always a constant support throughout our lives together and, of course, through this campaign. Look, we may have lost the Battle of Canning, though we've had great achievement in the swings that we've achieved and the campaigns that we've run through this campaign. Yes! But we did win the first war. We did get rid of Tony Abbott. And with that momentous achievement that we have all had here, that we've all been a key part of, we now need to steel ourselves as a united front for the next key war, which will be the general election, to make sure that we can get behind Bill Shorten so that we can advance Australia with a new Labor government. Thank you very much, everybody.